How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about BBIG. It ended up having a pullback inside of the market. We saw a big time sell off, and these are one of the reasons why I'm putting these videos together, because I want to make sure you're prepared for tomorrow. And the best way to be prepared is to go over what happened today so we can have a game plan. So I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder, you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is the technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance. We want to know what it looks like in the bearish case scenario and as well as in the bullish case scenario. You have to be prepared. And then we're going to go on Fintel, taking a look at the recent short interest information. The reason why this is important, because it does have an impact on the way the stock performs. And then we're going to take a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know the buying and the selling behavior on the retail side and as well as on the institutional side. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to do a technical analysis for BBIG. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $3.93, being down 13.25%. On the low, it tested $3.84, and then on the high, testing $4.42. So when we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 87.839 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days is at 96.31 million shares. So we ended up having below average volume on the day, and of course we did have a big time sell-off in the market, and BBIG was impacted by this. Now when we take a look at our chart, which is the daily chart, we can see from the RSI down below it is at 57.91. And then when we take a look at our moving averages here on the chart, we have strength above the 21-day EMA as well as for the 50-day, but we have broken through the 100-day and as well as the 200-day. And like I've said in previous videos, we want to have price action above the 200-day for BBIG to remain bullish. Now it's officially in a bearish pattern, and if it does decide to pull back even more, then you're going to want to see some support hold up right here around $3.53 or $3.50 overall. We want this level to hold. If it could hold this level and consolidate, then we can look forward to that next move up and then being able to go back into the $4 level. Keep in mind, we just closed at $3.93, so there's a strong possibility, especially if the market conditions do permit this, we can get back above $4 and then continue making that move back up. But if we don't, at least you know what it looks like on the downside. And if it ever did decide to break through that 350 level, then I'd be looking for some support actually to come into the stock right here around 330, which is lined up right where we have the 21-day EMA, where it's at $3.29. So let's see what it does going into tomorrow. So we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information for BBIG. So as we scroll down further on the page, green rows indicate new positions while red rows indicate closed positions. So what we're going to see for the recent filings for January the 20th, we have Goldman Sachs Group that purchased call and had 432,600 shares, and also you could see here another position of 509,483 shares. So we can see they loaded up on BBIG. And now when we take a look at the short interest, the dark pool short volume ratio is at 51.86%, and then for the dark pool short volume, it is just over 49.33 million shares. Scrolling down further on the page, the short shares availability is at 0, updated 25 minutes ago. And then for the short borrow fee rate, it is currently not available. And then when we take a look at the history of the short volume ratio, we can see for the close of the 18th, it was at 57.46. And then for the close of the 19th, which was yesterday, it was at 51.86. So what this tells us right away, BBIG does have short squeeze potential, but we already knew that due to the fact we have been covering this stock for quite some time. Now let's move on to the order flow distribution. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for BBIG. So we could see here on the inflow, it was at 69.39, and then on the outflow, it's at 63.35. So we ended up having an inflow day. Taking a look at the breakdown on the large, it was 4.37. On the medium, it was 47.42, and then on the small, it was 70 17.60. Taking a look at the outflow side, you could see on the large it was 3.33. On the medium, it was 44.28. And then on the small, it was 15.74. Looking at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you could see for today, January the 20th, it being at 1.03, and it was an inflow. Analyzing the numbers even further for the small scale orders that tend to represent the retail side, we had more buying than we had selling. And then when we take a look at what happened on the medium, we had more buying than we had selling. And then when we take a look at the large, which represents whales, institutions, and funds, we had more buying than we had selling. So we see institutions loading up on shares. And now when we take a look at the turnover ratio, it was at 91.64%. So it has been going down. We've seen it in the 200% range, the 100% range. Now we're seeing it in the 90% range. But what this tells us, it is still very liquid. There's a lot of traders that are going in and out of this play. So that is one thing you need to be aware of, and be prepared for the volatility that comes with it. So let's jump into the final thoughts, and we'll go over some more details as well. So for my final thoughts for BBIG, the price levels that you want to look out for. If we continue to have a pullback, then I want to see some strength at $3.50. I want that to hold a support. I want to see if buyers start jumping in. If they don't, then we can pull back to around $3.30. And if we get to this level, again, you're going to want to see if there's demand there. If there's no demand, then we can get to the $3 level. So that's just one thing that you want to be aware of. As far as for strength is concerned, I'd want to see us actually get to above $4. If we can't be above $4, this is why I say it is very important for us to at least hold up $3.50, most preferably $3.70. Also, when we went on Fintel, taking a look at the short interest information, it does continue to have short squeeze potential. And one thing that we saw in the order flow, institutions have been loading up on shares, and we also do see this on the retail side. So this tells us there is demand inside of the market, but we can't ignore the fact the overall market conditions. We had a strong sell-off towards the end, and BBIG was impacted. So going into tomorrow, we want to see what the market's going to look like overall. If we continue to have selling pressure, then BBIG can pull back. If we end up having a green day and there's a lot of buying happening, then there's a possibility where BBIG can gain some momentum, and I'll be looking for that close above $4. Again, this is very important for the stock and to give shareholders more confidence. Also, more traders would want to get into the play due to the fact if it's able to close above $4.10, it still continues to look bullish. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I can't wait to see how the stock performs going into tomorrow.